Hola guys and girls and welcome to GBA Week 10, the last week of the regular season before we head into playoffs, and we are facing GoldoaDragon and his new York Empoleon. He was the Jenna throughout the season for me, so if you didn't check them out through these shoutouts I gave him already, you definitely have to, at least after you saw this video, to watch his side of the match and watch some more of his content. He's a really cool dude. He does live commentary as well, so if you're more a fan of that, you definitely, should check out his channel. But, while we had shoutouts, of course, shoutout for recording this match for me goes to Goldoa as well. He was nice enough to record this match for me as well. And shoutout for joining this team for me goes, of course, to NeonXero, who, gent a lot throughout the season to me, same as Goldoa. They're basically the two-punch team who assisted me throughout the season. So, if you're liking how the season's going for me, these two definitely are having a part in that as well. But, that's out now. History, I know I've battled Goldoa. This is the first time he's in GBA, the first time we meet each other in a league. So, but he was in D-League, of course, as well, so I watched a few of his battles there. So I think I'm quite familiar on how he battles. Like I said, I'm watching his other GBA battles as well, so that should be a testament on that you should check them out as well. But, that's basically it. Our history, he's out of playoffs guaranteed. He had not too great of a season. I'm guaranteed in the playoffs already. And actually, it doesn't matter how this match goes. It's not in my hands who I face. It all depends on Leo and Envy. If they change up who's number 2 and number 1. I will be staying number 3. The only chance I will be getting number 2 is if Envy loses and I win. And then I still face Envy. So, even if I win, I might still face Leo. So, that's what I mean. Doesn't really matter what result I get here, it depends on what the others do. So, But now, going into the teams, of course, I uploaded team builder yesterday to check out all the details there, but going real quick over that, we got an Expert Belt, Death Rocks 3 attacks, Adactyl, Assault Vest, the Zoomer, Physical Defensive, Rocky Helmet, Croco. That's basically Sleep Talk, Calm Mind to Shadow Ball, Cofag, Assault Vest, Tarachi, 3 attacks, Physical, Vacuum Wave, Lucario, and then Calm Mind, Life Orb, Landorus. Looking at the opponent's team, he brought the Scrafty, the Vaporeon, the Donphan, the Mega Beedrill, Reshiram, and the Zapdos. And the first surprise is no Tapu Lele, so that means my Assault Nest on Jirachi is not that useful since it's only... Well, he has 3 special attackers still, but one is the Vaporeon, which I can't hurt. Really set I have. The other is the Reshiram, which did roast me with the thing, with the blue flare. And the other thing is is the Zapdos, which I don't really hit hard with my stats, with my moves as well. So, Jirachi, sadly, probably only be there as a pivot and get momentum, all this stuff. But other than that, no real surprises. The other surprise, of course, seeing Scrafty there instead of Tapu Lele. I would have expected Tapu Lele in that spot, but the rest makes all sense. Vaporeon, Donphan, Mega Beedrill, Reshiram, Zapdos, all make sense versus my team. Expecting Zapdos to be physically defensive for my Mega Adactyl. Beedrill is going to be 4 attacks. Quick Boy, Reshiram. It's going to be offensive, but there's a lot of items could run. Choice Scarf, Choice Specs, Life Orb, Expert Bell, some Berry, I don't know. A lot of stats that could potentially run. Donphan, probably going to be bulky, Rapid Spinner, Rock Stuff. Vaporeon, bulky, Wish Pass and shenanigans. And Scrafty, I'm actually not sure what Scrafty is going to be. I would say it's setup, just looking at it, but it's, of course, there's different setup options. Dragon Dance, Assault Stance, all these shenanigans. Could just be Assault Vest or something like that, or bulky with Intimidate, all these shenanigans. But either way, looking at his team, my Aerodactyl is actually great versus his whole team, barring the Vaporeon. I have a super effective stab versus anything. The Donphan can really only hit me via Stone Edge. Ice Shot is not doing too much, and I will actually 2-hit KO him first with Aqua Tail. And the only problem would be Vaporeon, in which I can just switch out into my Jirachi to pivot, or into my Cofag even. But that's why I decided to leave with my Aerodactyl kick arrows early, which are important for one, of course, Mega Beedrill, and another one for his Zapdos, because that means I can just freely click Close Combat, because if rocks are, Zapdos is not switching anymore to Lucario, I don't have to rely on Stone Edge. So let's hop into the match. We live Aerodactyl, getting up rocks or getting a 2-hit KO on something, and we see what happens. We are challenged by Pokemon Trainer Goldoa. Oh, he has the same glasses as the Houndoom on his shirt. Nice. I don't know if anyone else noticed that, but I just noticed that here, even though I watched it again. But old weapon coming out. He leads with Scrafty. We, of course, can right away find out if he's Intimidate or not. Of course, Unnerve will get first, so he's not a Choice Scarf one. That's no surprise there, and he has the Intimidate. But I go to the Calc, even if he's max HP, and Aerial Ace Expert Belt boosted, does 2-hit KO and max HP is crafty, so actually do still go for the rocks. I think he might switch out, but he does sadly stay in, so I mean, I was lead Aerodactyl, the rocks was a pretty straightforward play, but I want my rocks up, which are very important. And he just goes straight for Drain Punch. Shouldn't do too much damage, but it does because he gets actually a first turn crit, which is a bit annoying because now Knockoff kills me as well, and I don't really have a good switch in because Drain Punch obviously Cofag, the Knockoff, everything needs my item, so I just go for Aerial Ace, which does over 50%, like you can see right here, around 50-ish actually, and my Aerodactyl goes down, and that is sad because that means I need to, I don't have my rocks set anymore, so I need to keep my rocks up at all costs because that's just too nice with the Beedrill and especially Zapdos. But this gives me switch it into my Lucario. As mentioned, if rocks are up, there are no switches to Lucario. I just click close combat and 2-hit KO something. I think the only thing which could potentially take 2 hits or 2 close combats plus rocks is the Donphan if it's physically defensive. But he decides to just sax his Hawkeye, his Scrafty right here. And we do get rid of that, and rocks up, Scrafty's gone, our Aerodactyl sadly as well, but we still have Mega Lucario, and so far it's going nice. We did go 1 for 1, but I got rocks up in the process, so I'm fine with that. He just going to Dizzle his Donphan, and we don't want Rapid Spin happening. Obviously, we don't want to tank an EQ as well, since he can still live it, and we don't. So I do just hard switch out into my Cofag. If he goes for Rapid Spin, we block that. If he goes to EQ, we are fine as well, since we are physically defensive, and we can start getting this thing in range of close combat as well, with Shadow Balls and all this good stuff. But he does just go straight for his rocks, which is fair. And I decide right here to go straight for the Calm Mind, because I can actually switch out right here into his Vaporeon or something to scout what happens, and if I have a Calm Mind up, I can actually set up on that thing as well, since Scald is not doing too much damage. But he does just stay in, goes straight for EQ. We know from that he is actually pretty offensive, but yeah, Cofag is just way too bulky and not 3-hit KO by that, and we do get our Calm Mind up, and that means for me now I actually want to fire off my Shadow Ball, because I want this thing in range of close combat, and he seems to be content staying in, which we see right here. He does as well, goes for a second EQ. He did 51 on the first one. Right here he does 54, so yeah, it's like I said, not a free KO on me, and I can just go straight for a Shadow Ball and can do a lot of damage to this thing, seeing that he's only max HP and not specially invested, and now he's in range of close combat, which is great. And right here I do just go straight for the rest, because I still want this thing healthy to be a switch into the Beedrill. I don't mind not killing the Donphan, that had to be in range, but I still need to be healthy to be switched into the Beedrill. And he actually decides to switch out right there into his Vaporeon, which is at this point not a big problem anymore, since I do have the Calm Mind up, but I expect him in here to either have the Roar or the Haze most likely, because that's why he switched it in with my Calm Mind Cofag. But I'm afraid to just Sleep Talk once to see what he wants to do, but he just goes straight for a Wish. Okay, at first maybe he wants to go for Wish first, I have to Sleep Talk twice. But I just go straight for the Sleep Talk, maybe hope to get a Shadow Ball, maybe get a Calm Mind, hopefully not getting rest, and we do see that we Sleep Talk. Out of the 3 options, we get a Calm Mind, which is not bad, since that means Scald is doing even less to us, but if he has Haze, of course, that is one of the worst moves to get. But either way, he still didn't do anything about our Cofag, which is now getting even stronger. So I just Sleep Talk again and stay in and see what he wants to do with this thing. And he actually switches out into something, and he decides to switch out into Innis, which turns out to be his Mega Beedrill. And I'm just like, what? Okay, if I get Shadow Ball right here, I kill this thing. I'm at +2, I'm a Cofag. This is just the Beedrill. He already got rocks damage on himself. Okay, come on. Give me the Shadow Ball, Sleep Talk. Give me a Shadow Ball. Give me something. No rest, no comma. Give me Shadow Ball. We do get the Shadow Ball, and he hit this goddamn Beedrill in the stupid green face, and it lives on 1 HP or something. I have no idea how it was able to live that. I don't know if that was a roll, I don't know his investment, or I didn't do the calculator set. I know the investment now, we exchanged teams, but I have no idea how that able to live. But it gets Wish back, and I'm still content staying in. I will wake up. This is my check to Mega Beedrill, so I can just stay in, go for Shadow Ball, even though he gets bulky. Once he touches me, he gets Rocky Helmet damage on himself, and then he's in range of Shadow Ball. So he does go for Knockoff, does a lot of damage to me. Of course, that's the mummy happens, the mummy exchange, so he loses adaptability, blah blah blah. End of story is, I will wake up, I do go for Shadow Ball, and I will kill this Mega Beedrill, and yeah, my Cofag already putting in a huge amount of work, getting the Donphan in range, getting rid of the Beedrill, and still being at around 50% health with +2/+2. So Cofag, definitely the MVP so far in the match, and he does switch out into Manakite, which is his Reshiram, and now I go to the, okay, first Turbo Blaze happens, blah blah blah, and now I go to the calculator, and since I'm at +2 special defense, I'm pretty bulky on that side, and I go to the calculator, see if I can rest up on this thing or not, if I can take 1 hit from him, and it actually turns out I potentially can, but it depends on the set. If he's Life Orb or any boosting item basically which boosts up his Blue Flare, I die right here. But if he's not, I could take the hit. In the end, I decided to not take the risk, since this is still a nice spin blocker for the Donphan, and I do have a perfectly fine switch in my Assault vested Azumarill. So I actually just hide switch right into that. And we do see that he just go for Blue Flare. We said he can't scout what he is since he misses, so... I mean, that's of course lucky. I prefer him having a miss than him hitting. And we are free to fire off a knockoff right here. I don't want to go for... knockoff is just safe. He missed, so I can get rid of item he has. If he switches into something else, I get an item there. And we do actually get rid of the item of the... Vaporeon, which is nice. Now he has to go for Wish in my eyes, since player full to KO him otherwise here. So I do hard switch into my Cofag, because this is my chance to get my rest up. If he goes for Wish, he can't KO me with Scald, and I get my rest up. But he actually does go for Toxic, and that makes things a little bit scary, because now I might be in range of Scald, depending on how much Toxic does. Like, I'm speaking from when the battle happens. Now I'm looking at HP, I'm guaranteed out of range of Scald. But in the match, I didn't know that. I was Toxic. Oh no, do I die now? And it's no use calcing, because I just rest right here, and we do live on 4 HP. Cofag coming through, and we do get the rest up and are at full health again. Sadly, don't have our Rocky Helmet anymore, but at this point, Cofag's job is to just make sure that the rocks stay up, because I'm not expecting the Zapdos to have defog. I'm more so expecting the Donphan to have Rapid Spin, and even if the Zapdos is defog, that means he has to switch in first, take it around with rocks damage, and that's all I need on that yellow bird. And yeah, he goes for Wish right here. I go for one Sleep Talk, trying to get a Shadow Ball or Combine or something, but I do kill the rest. So, I mean, that's fair. I did go for Sleep Talk 3 times, and I got every single move once. So, that's pretty much how it should go if you go for Sleep Talks. But, yeah, he did go for Wish. And right here, could just go for second Sleep Talk, try to Combine or Shadow Ball right here or something. But it's very likely that he will switch out right here, either into Donphan, get his Wish into that, or his Reshiram, since that's what I was switching last time. So, actually gonna pull the switch right here out into my Azumarill, which can switch out in either of the two, because then I can scale out either, of course, since I could KO the Donphan, and I don't KO since I don't have a water move, but I can scare out the Donphan, or I can be switching. I can be in versus the Manakee, which Azumarill is my switch, and that was a lot of switches. But yeah, he stayed. He did go into Reshiram, which is fine. Gets his Wish back. It's at full health, but we have Azumarill here, and we can just go for Play Rough this time, because I don't want to go for Knockoff again. He dashes the end, goes for Blue Flare. This time he hits, and from the damage we can tell he is not actually boosting item. He might be Choice Scarf. He's something. He's max special attack, but he's not boosting item. We do for Play Rough. We do connect, and we do a clean 50% to this thing, so that means we can just go for second Play Rough. He has to switch into that, but he actually has the Roost, and that is a bit scary, because as we all know, Play Rough has a miss chance. So if he wants to play the Roost game, we can potentially get a bit unlucky and miss the Play Rough and having him at a good amount of health. But yeah, we do go for Play Rough here. And this time I actually don't want to go for Knockoff, just for guaranteed damage on this thing, getting rid of whatever item he has, since I don't know yet what item he has. No boosting item, not Scarf obviously, since switch up moves, so I just want to get rid of the item, so guaranteed damage, and we can see right here that he actually has Barnberry, so that Knockoff was not necessary. I don't have any Dragon moves on this team, probably there for Kyurem. But yeah, he used the chance to go for another Blue Flare. I do just go for my Play Rough right here, trying to bring him in range of the Arco Jet from me. He doesn't get the burn, thankfully. With the burn, of course, I would do less. I do have Facade, though, which could surprise him, but of course, then I wouldn't do this much damage. So, Arco Jet, right now pretty obvious, and he still has the Vaporeon in the bag, which after Arco Jet recovery actually is out of range of Play Rough again. So actually I'd want to predict him right here to go into this Vaporeon, predict my Arco Jet, and so I go for a second Play Rough, but he does the aim, goes for Roost. Oh no, that is super scary right now, because if I miss right now, all the work I've done wearing down this Manakee is basically down for nothing, and yeah, I overpredicted. Thankfully it doesn't matter too much. I go for Play Rough, get the damage here, but yeah, it seems he doesn't want to switch out, so I just go for Arco Jet this time, and yeah, he stays in, I go for Arco Jet, and he dies. So, I don't know if he didn't think about Arco Jet, or actually, I know what he did, but I'm not going to spoil that here. So, yeah, he didn't switch into the Vaporeon, which is nice. Now he goes into Cormac, his, his Zapdos, and I use the chance just to go for Arco Jet to, yeah, chip this thing down. As Azumarill is at this low amount of HP, and at this point in the game, not that important. So I'm free to just sack that off with Discharge from the Zapdos, especially since this gives me now a free switch into my Landorus, which is awesome, because Landorus might not KO this thing depending on his investment, but after a Calm Mind I guarantee do, and after a Calm Mind he can't KO me with HP Ice either if he has that. So I'm free to go for Calm Mind and basically get one kill right here. And yeah, we see he does stay in, he doesn't want to hard switch out, so he wasn't scared of the Rock Slide or anything. But we do get our +1/+1, and yeah, if he goes for HP Ice, you're guaranteed to live that, but he does go for U-turn, and that might actually mean that this game is already GG. He only has Vaporeon left, and the Zapdos, and the Donphan, and everything is in range of HP Ice or Earth Power, and the only thing he really has to do damage to me at this point is if he has Ice Shot on his Donphan, but that's not killing my Landorus from this range, since even his max attack Adamant, we are this time fully special, not minus defense or anything, we are guaranteed to live that, and we can just go for Earth Power and KO, knock this thing out, but we die! It's a mega crit! No, Mr. Man, you sweep! Your sweet sweep is gone. My Landorus dies to a crit, and goddamn, it's not GG yet. So we have to go to Lucario, just click cross combat now, and yeah, basically hope to not get static by the Zapdos, because the scary thing is, I could of course try to break the Stone Edge here, but then I don't kill the Donphan. So it was a weird 50-50. A Goofball does comment, he does switch to Zapdos. It will kill from this range, but do we get the static or do we not get static? We have to hope. Best boy, please. Landorus already got Hex, not you as well. You're the bestest of the baddest ghost boys in the world. Don't get parried here, and you don't, and that is also because now everything is in range and everything dies to close combat. You just switch out into his Scizor once again, but yeah, like I said, this thing is in range of close combat. You can't just KO this thing, he's probably just sacking it, but no, he switches out again, and that makes me a bit confused. Why did he switch out there? And then I think, okay, he most likely has a 50% berry to which he needs damage on his Donphan to get that proc, because then he's out of range of close combat, but for me, that's still fine, because then I still have my Cofag in the back, I still have my Jirachi in the back, and both will kill after I got the close combat off on that thing, even after the 50% berry. So he does switch out into his Donphan, expecting him to be recovered, but like you see right here, he actually doesn't get any recovery. And I was like, okay, did he miscalc anything? No, just for close combat. Maybe he miscalced the rocks damage since it's resisted, it's a bit difficult. But no, he was actually not 50% berry, he was custard berry. And yeah, he KOs my Lucario. I should have, honestly, I custard berry completely flew out of my mind. I totally forgot that berry exists. Totally forgot could be a thing. I should have just clicked Vacuum Wave there. It would have killed as well and would have prevented that. But yeah, now I go into my Cofag because Jirachi, I don't want him to be physically defensive and maybe Jirachi not killing or something. And Cofag was the MVP so far, so Byron, he gets crit 2 times actually, he has to be crit. And yeah, we don't get crit on the first one, so now we can even live a critic Q, and we can sleep talk even if we get something else in Shadow Ball. We can regular Shadow Ball after that, but Cofag, the gentleman being it is, doesn't make it longer as it's needed. Go straight for the Shadow Ball and KO this thing, and we even get our revenge crit. So there you go. That didn't matter, but you crit our Mr. Man, we crit you back. You stupid Donphan. You might be our mascot, but you're shiny, so you're not our mascot actually. Our mascot is regular Donphan, so I'm fine with being mean to that elephant. But yeah, that is the game. GG to Goldoa. We do manage to win 2-0 in the end versus his squad. Very fun game in the end. Like, the custom berry totally caught me off guard. But in the end, Cofag put in a huge amount of work, and after Cofag basically weakened everything, and it was just a battle of Landorus and Lucario clearing up the team. In the end, it was Lucario since Landorus sadly got crit, but yeah, I'm still fine with that. We do win, of course, and that means we will go into playoffs, which was a surprise at this point, but we go into this match with a nice 7-3 record, which is pretty good, I want to say myself. Definitely a better one of my GBA seasons. And yeah, I not gonna spoil who we're gonna face. It's Leo or Envy that you will find out later in the matches, or maybe earlier in matches if they're played already. But either way, if you like this video, leave a like and subscribe. You know the deal. Hit me on Twitter, Facebook. All the links are in the description. Hit up all the guys I mentioned in the beginning. Goldoa and Goldoa again, and NeonXero. All the links are gonna be in the description. And yeah, I will see you another time. Ciao.